by the Montana Television Network. Montana This Morning continues on Montana's News Leader.
With the new year comes some dangerously low temperatures. I'm Mo Lalengi in Washington with a look at a nationwide freeze.
Good Tuesday morning, good cold Tuesday morning, Southwest Montana. We do have some teens and 20s below. Matt has that local, but meantime, almost the entire nation currently experiencing freezing cold temperatures this morning.
That's right. In the Midwest and in the South, areas not used to such a cold snap. Those extreme temperatures are causing some extreme difficulties. Mo Lalengi has more.
90% of the nation started 2018 with temperatures below freezing, causing all sorts of dangerous conditions. These are firefighters in Nahant, Massachusetts, fighting flames while icicles form on their helmets and rungs of their ladders.
The water freezes on our equipment, on our air packs, on our masks.
In Houston, temperatures in the low 20s are far from normal. Residents like Simon Caballado are still putting their homes back together after massive flooding from Hurricane Harvey. Many without full walls, let alone insulation, are having trouble keeping the warmth inside.
No got no bed really, no sofa, no chair, no heat.
Public schools in Indianapolis are closed because of the extreme temperatures. Over at the Wheeler Mission Shelter, it's a mad rush trying to get the homeless off the streets.
This weather's not just, cold, it's deadly.
Chunks of ice are being seen in waters from Lake Michigan to this stretch of the Mississippi and Missouri. Even many of those traditional New Year's Day polar bear plunges were canceled due to the cold. At one of the nation's largest, in Jacksonport, Wisconsin, it was negative 20 degrees with the wind chill.
I think we, as humans, we like a challenge. We like to see if we can do it.
And a weather system on the East Coast is moving in that could bring snow with all this cold from as far south as South Carolina all the way up through Canada. Mo Lalengi, CBS News, Washington.
Now, several big cities reported records of around 100 years old that fell in the last few days. Most notably, Omaha, Nebraska, which broke a 130-year-old New Year's Day mark of 20 degrees below zero. Wow.
That's pretty cold for Omaha, Nebraska.
Yeah.
That's pretty cold outside right now, Matt, as you step in to join us. It's not super warm here either.
In Montana, we call it Tuesday.
Yeah.
But it looks like our temperatures continue to be pretty chilly this morning. 13 below in Belgrade, 20 below in West Yellowstone, 9 below in Butte. But we do have some warmer temperatures on the way. We should be into the teens and 20s by the mid to late part of the afternoon for most of the area. Look at the thick fog in the mining city this morning. It is a rough one in uptown Butte to start the day. We're going to talk about the potential of a slight warm-up heading our direction. Also some snow by the weekend. Your complete forecast, of course, coming up in just a few minutes.
Thank you, Matt. Now, another avalanche happened over the weekend on Saturday, located on Mount Jefferson near Island Park, Idaho, and the Montana-Idaho state line. MTN's Kenneth Webb has this exclusive report on why the snowmobiler escaped with his life.
A group of snowmobilers witnessed their friend Clark Johnson trying to high mark a steep side of a mountain when an avalanche occurred, burying Johnson along with his snowmobile. Luckily, his friends were there when it happened.
His partners were able to respond quickly and dig him out, and he was okay. Some reasons he was able to be recovered quickly and survive is because they had the proper rescue gear. He had an avalanche airbag pack, which helped him stay closer to the surface. We don't know if they had beacons, but his partners did have shovels and were only exposing one person at a time to that slope. So he was the only person caught, and they were there and able to get to him quickly and dig him up.
The conditions over the weekend were favorable for avalanches, as avalanche warnings were posted all throughout southwest Montana Saturday.
So anyone who's traveling in the backcountry should start with checking out the avalanche advisory and current weather and snow conditions and make a plan for the day based on that, whether it be avoiding avalanche terrain altogether or picking out specific slopes they're going to avoid. And then they need to carry that rescue gear. An airbag pack is good, but the 3 essentials are an avalanche beacon, a shovel, and a probe, and everyone in the group has to have that gear and know how to use it. Only exposing one person at a time to that avalanche terrain is one big thing that made this incident a lucky, fortunate outcome.
The Gallatin County Search and Rescue also wants you to be safe if an incident like this occurs while you're in the backcountry.
Main thing, like I say, don't take things for granted. You never know. I mean, it's a beautiful day. Sun is shining. We might be close to zero by now, but somebody who is unprepared, clothing, equipment-wise, this could turn into a very disastrous day in a very short amount of time if something happens to him that they're not prepared for.
Get his face. Get his face. Just clear his face and get his mouth. Get your fingers in his mouth if he can't talk.
Reporting from Gallatin County, Kenneth Webb, MTN News.
In other snowmobile news, snowmobiler from Minnesota was out in the Lulu Meadow area near Cook City Sunday, according to Deputy Tad Dykstra with Park County Search and Rescue. 25-year-old male was doing some tricks when he lost control of his snowmobile, fell off a 15-foot ledge. Now, due to the seriousness of his injuries, he was airlifted to the Livingston Healthcare Facility. National Park Service, Mammoth Ambulance, and West Park Ambulance out of Cody, Wyoming all responded to the injured snowmobile. He is recovering from non-life-threatening injuries.
And some other headlines for you on your Tuesday morning. A Gallatin County Sheriff's vehicle was totaled after a tractor trailer crashed into it on Saturday morning. The deputy had responded to an accident on the Bozeman Pass on Interstate 90 and was parked behind it to protect that scene. The driver who was involved in the accident was sitting in the deputy's car when the semi-truck slammed into the back of it. Now, fortunately, no one was injured when that vehicle was totaled. A second sheriff's office car totaled in December while trying to protect crash scenes on the interstate.
Political news this morning, three-term Montana State Representative Tom Woods of Bozeman is dropping out of the race to try to win the Democratic nomination for Montana's U.S. House seat. In a post to supporters, Woods says he can't afford to stay in the race. He says, quote, a couple of the other candidates have raised hundreds of thousands of dollars, well over 10 times what I have been able to raise, end quote. Woods says he would have to go into debt to finance the race and says he cannot do that. Wood says he will likely run for re-election to the state legislature, even though he calls it, as he would use his words, quote, a terrible job, end quote. Wood promises to make that decision by January 11th.
Now, here's the question. What is your New Year's resolution? If cutting down on spirits was one of them, you're in good company. Macy Jenkins reports on the digital this week on what's the hot trending topic.
Could you give up drinking for the month of January?
Yes, I could give up drinking for the month of January.
Oh, no, that's boring.
But setting the drinks aside is one of the most popular New Year's resolutions. The hashtag Dry January is all over social media with photos and videos suggesting ways to stay busy that don't involve drinking.
I don't know if it would be worth it, but I mean, maybe for an alcoholic, possibly.
So I asked Dr. Daniel McCrimmins, does giving up alcohol for a month do any good?
It depends upon how long that chronic state of drinking had been.
USDA dietary guidelines define moderate drinking as 1 drink a day for women and 2 drinks a day for men. And giving that up could mean repairs to your liver, a boost to your memory, and a reduction in anxiety. But Dr. McCrimmins also says making permanent changes takes more than 30 days.
If you take time off from drinking, you have some mild repair. But then what happens is that if you go back to drinking again, whatever repair you had will then recede.
One of the dangers of suddenly going cold turkey, binge drinking before and after the dry month.
There needs to be some kind of moderation with what you're doing in December, no different than what you would do any other month of the year.
The doctor's advice, start 2018 by focusing on what makes you a better you.
Overall, it really is sort of an all year round desire that you try to feel happier and feel a little bit more connected to yourself.
Those are some pretty helpful tips.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely true.
For them. Stay with us. Coming up after a break, it's your Montana Made Product of the Week, stunning stained art glasswork. You don't want to miss this.
But first, let's check in with Bianna Goladraga with a look at what's coming up at 7 on CBS This Morning.
Ahead on CBS This Morning, we're tracking dangerously cold weather across the country. We'll take you to Niagara Falls, which is partially frozen. Plus, a new study is out on the pressure teenage girls feel to send explicit pictures to teenage boys. Psychologist Lisa D'Amour is here on teen sexting. We'll see you at 7.